in enemy captivity. This was likely the last best opportunity to free him. As for the circumstances of his capture, when he was able to provide them what he's been able to provide them, we'll learn the facts. Like any American, he's an innocent until proven guilty. Let me go to Colonel Davis. The question I have, and I hope you can stick to it, is the reasonableness of this decision to release 5 dangerous men who will eventually find their way back to Afghanistan, the country they wish to take over. And the question I have is from the other side. Why did they fight so hard to get these 5 guys back? They're leaders. This isn't humanitarian. They want them back, it seems to me, for some strategic reason, to be part of what their plans are once we leave a year from now. Your thoughts about the strategic danger of these releases?
Well, I would push back a bit on the hyperbole about these being the most dangerous men at Guantanamo. I mean, this wasn't Khalid Sheikh Mohammed.
Don't push back at me, sir, because I didn't say that.
I'm not.
I said one was chief of staff of the Taliban. One of the other one was a top intelligence officer, one of the Southern Command guys. These guys were pretty high ranking. And my question to you is, why did they want them back so much?
Well, in 12 years, we could never charge these guys. We had no evidence to charge them. The Taliban, clearly they were affiliated with the Taliban. It would make sense they would ask for them back. Our legal basis to detain them is going to run out at the end of the year with the close of the Afghan war. So in my view, this was a win-win. Get a soldier back, get 5 detainees out of Guantanamo that we couldn't charge, hadn't charged in 12 years. I think it was a good decision.
Well, wait a minute. Why are they no longer a danger to the United States in terms of that war front? We're going to have personnel over there. And by the way, by your logic, we could have let General Giap free when we left Vietnam, even though we were no longer in the war. But he's certainly a threat to our allies and certainly a threat to our interests.
Well, we had no evidence.
These guys are the enemy of the United States, are they not? I'm asking you, are they our enemies?
If we had any evidence that they'd committed any offense, we would have preferred charges against them. And in 12 years, we couldn't do that. That's why we keep them in Gitmo, of course, because they're dangerous. Well, our legal justification's been that we're at war, and the president has said by the end of the year that war's coming to an end. So, you know, we've got to come up with either a new legal fiction.
Do you think the war against the United States, from the Taliban point of view, is going to be over when we check out of there? Do you honestly believe they're going to stop attacking us and our interests?
Well, I don't think we measure our behavior about what the Taliban thinks. I mean, legally, the war is coming to an end, and that's what we've cited to the courts for a decade now.
You're making these legal points, which I question because I don't think they cease to be hostiles. But my question is this. If those guys get back in there and start killing American GIs who are stationed at our embassy or anywhere else, whose head's that on? Yours or the president's? But it's somebody's, because the person who lets them go is responsible for them now. Right now.
Well, if you're going to wait till the risk is reduced to 0, then they'll be serving a life sentence.
How about down to something plausible? Let me ask you this. Do you think it's plausible that those guys are going to retire from this war?
Well, we don't know. Only time's going to tell, but we're never going to...
You don't think so. How about you don't think so? Say you don't think so. That means something. You don't know doesn't mean anything. We don't know everything. But don't you think it's plausible that they will continue the fight against the United States?
It's certainly possible. I wouldn't rule that out.
And you want to let them go?
Well, we have to have some legal justification to detain them, and in the absence of that, then yes, that's the alternative.
How about a conversation with one of them when they say, we're out to get the United States? We're engaged in active military jihad against the United States. Isn't that enough evidence that they're a danger to the United States when they say so?
If there was some evidence that we could charge them with an offense, we would have done it. I mean, we're prosecuting Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. These guys were never... brought up for prosecution.
Well, all I can tell you is they're down there for a reason. General, let's talk about our military. What's the reaction of our military that you know to the fact we're releasing